back on the same highway with the heat on and the windows closed as we were almost 2 weeks ago when we were heading away down to Seattle. Now we're heading north back towards Vancouver on the I-5. And while we were on our trip, what were people saying they wanted to hear?
About how we met.
Oh yeah, about how we met. Yeah, they left a lot of comments about that. What do you remember? It's so long ago.
Well, we both were on this dating newspaper thing. And
Yeah.
you just kind of listened to people's little blurb and decided whether you were interested or... I remember my blurb said...
Life's too short. I remember that part.
Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
I remember about my idea of a good day is when the sun's shining, your top's down, you got a pocket full of money and nowhere to go, or something like that. Remember that?
What I remember most is that I put an ad up saying that, you know, I'm not into sports and I'm not your typical guy, that type of thing. And, you know, I like to travel a lot, and that's about what I remember that I put up. But what happened was I wasn't getting any answers to my ad. No women were going for it. So I figured I had to be more aggressive about it. So I started listening to women's ads, and all the women in my age group, at that time it was in the 30s, none of them interested me. They had nothing in common with any of them. And then, so I thought, well, maybe we'll listen to some younger ones in their 20s, and I had even less in common with them. And it's like, yeah, hold a conversation with someone like that? No, sorry, you know. So then I started listening to some older women, and their ads sounded more interesting, so I answered. I said, I'm going to answer some before my time runs out on this system.
10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
10 that you answered.
10 that I answered, and yours was one of them. And a couple of them were leaving one of them left long messages for me, just babbling about stuff, and, you know, it's like she only wanted to hear herself speak. And I left my phone number for the few that I actually did answer. And one day I got a phone call, and this voice was saying, did you know you're talking to an older woman? and so then what else happened?
I don't know. We tried to figure out each other's schedules because I had just started my career and you were working nights, so we tried to figure out times when we could talk to each other, and we usually spent at least 2 hours on the phone, you know, and it went on for a week or so.
Yeah, I called you and you called me, and every time we called each other, there seemed to be something more there every time.
Yeah, we just connected, and I couldn't wait to talk to you the next time, and it just, conversation seemed to flow. And
yeah, don't you hate that when you're talking with someone on the phone and then there's a big pause? With you, there was no pause. You knew exactly, you know, you just kept on going, and I kept on going, and we both kept on going, and by the time a week or 10 days or something was over, we just wanted to meet each other, and we didn't care what each other looked like or anything like that,
yeah,
right?
You both said, you know, which we found out later was, I don't care what this guy or this girl looks like or anything. I said, I just know that this is the guy for me. And I remember we met, and I had walked out of my back door and walked around the side of the house, and he was parked and he was on his way in, and we just saw each other and smiled, and I remember that you held me for a long, long time, like we hugged, just held on to each other and hugged for a long, long time.
I just remember coming up towards these bushes that were on the side of the house, and I got to the bushes, and there you were, right behind the bushes. And I just remember, yeah, a big hug, and it ended in a great, big, juicy, wet kiss. And it was so nice, so nice to touch you, just to hold you, and to be held at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we went on our first date.
Yeah. Should we tell them what happened?
I got no secrets, do you?
Well, let's see. This is bad. I don't know. We just got in your vehicle and started driving and talking, and you drove me straight to your house. We went into your house and we made bad passionate love.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was thinking about going like onto a mountain or going for a drink or something, but we just sort of gravitated towards my place, and that's where we ended up. And before we knew it,
I don't know that we gravitated to your place, but
you didn't say no.
That's exactly right. I did not say no, and that is, that is naughty.
But it was right.
But you know what? It felt right, and most, I don't know. I always get the impression that most guys think that when a girl is that easy, that
Bullshit. All those things that people rationalize, like, oh, because he bought dinner, she owes him a blowjob. That's bullshit. If it's right, it's right. None of this rules and conventions and we went for a martini. Well, a martini's that's worth a kiss goodnight. And then, dinner's worth a blowjob. And then if we go to dinner and a movie, that's worth a fuck. I mean, that's bullshit, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There are people who think that way.
I know, and that was what was so refreshing with you, is because it was okay that we did it that way.
It was okay. We were both grown up.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Consenting adults, and we felt a need to express our passion, and we did it. It was wonderful, and that's that.
Yeah, so then what happened after that?
Well, then we were pretty much inseparable and tried to spend as much time as possible with me being on call and working day shift or evening shift or night shift, and it was really challenging.
Yeah, that was a challenge, and so then you broke up with me because it wasn't quite working out. Or should I say, the first couple of months were just wonderful. We were getting along so good, and then suddenly, I don't know, I thought you were under stress or something at work, and then
things just turned out to be the bitch from hell.
Yeah, you turned out to be pretty nasty. And I didn't know I'm asking myself, what the hell am I doing wrong? What I do wrong? And then one day, you came over, and after we hadn't seen each other for a whole week.
Yeah, and I just called it off because it just wasn't working. I mean, it was not what I wanted out of a relationship, and ultimately, what it turned out to be is, I think I needed some time to grow. I needed some time to grow into you.
Fetwick.
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 Fetwick. Fetwick.